Right now, there is an individual out there holding genuine weight and influence in the world, someone whose name carries real energy whenever it gets spoken in certain rooms. That person has taken notice of you, and it is not in some casual, fleeting way, not just a passing, "I saw your profile and liked your post" sort of thing, but in a manner that completely stopped them in their tracks. The funny thing is, you do not even realize it yet. You are simply going about your everyday routine, taking care of business and perhaps even wrestling with heavy struggles this week. Yet completely outside of your awareness, somewhere in the background, a powerful person is paying close attention. They are someone capable of unlocking doors you have not even thought to knock on yet. They could accelerate your life in ways your brain cannot fully process right now, because it honestly sounds too good, too coincidental, and too much like a movie scene reserved for other people. Even so, this is entirely real. It is actively happening, and it is far from random. No, it is definitely not random, nor is it a mere coincidence. That is because the type of person we are discussing, someone who sits in high places, commands influence and resources, and moves through life with total ease because they earned their position, does not notice people for no reason. They are certainly not bored. They are not mindlessly scrolling through life looking for cheap entertainment. Their schedule is structured, their attention is carefully guided, their trust is hard-earned, and their genuine interest is remarkably rare. Therefore, if this person happens to be impressed by you, intrigued by you, and actively watching you from wherever they are, it means something about you is completely undeniable. Something about you has successfully cut through all the noise. Something about you made them sit straight up and wonder, "Wait, who is that?" Meanwhile, you are probably sitting there telling yourself there is no possible way. You likely assume you have not done anything remarkable lately, that you are not famous, that you lack influence, and that you are far too invisible to ever be noticed like that. Yet that exact thought process is precisely why recognizing this right now matters so much. After all, the people who draw observation are frequently not the ones performing hard for attention. Instead, they're the ones simply living authentically. They are the ones showing up consistently and being themselves without any apology. They do so naturally, without needing to second-guess themselves or question their worth. As it turns out, the public eye does not merely spot those who desperately want to be famous. Rather, it locks onto individuals whose presence is utterly undeniable. There is something unique about how you handle things, how you carry yourself, the way you speak, and the very fact that you have survived what you have survived. That strength stays visible even during moments when you assume absolutely nobody is watching. Maybe it shows in the way you refuse to break. Maybe it shines through the quiet strength you forged after walking straight through the fire. A resilience that can never be faked. Maybe it is the profound clarity you developed after enduring years of confusion. Or maybe it simply comes down to the fact that you are still standing, still believing, and still pushing forward. Even when everything around you urged you to throw in the towel, that kind of inner energy refuses to just vanish into thin air. It radiates. The person about to cross your path, the one already circling quietly in the background, recognizes that specific energy because they had to cultivate that exact same depth within themselves. They never reached where they are today by being average. They got there by being relentless, staying strategic, and spotting the crucial details that everyone else tends to miss. Right now, they are seeing you, and this goes way beyond coincidence or a lucky fluke. There is a genuine orchestration taking place here. A distinct convergence of timing has brought you directly to this exact moment, while drawing them into an awareness of who you are. What makes this fascinating is that truly powerful people do not randomly choose to connect with someone unless they sense a real alignment, unless they feel a shared frequency, unless they can sense that you are operating on a level mirroring their own potential. The fact that this person feels impressed by you means they have spotted something inside you that they rarely ever see in anyone else. They have recognized your competence, your authenticity, your resilience, or something even rarer, an unnameable quality that is entirely undeniable. They are seeing you in ways you have not even fully managed to see yourself yet. And perhaps you have felt this quiet, shifting sensation lately. Perhaps you have been waking up with a strange sense of anticipation, feeling as though you are waiting for something massive, even if you cannot quite name what it is. Perhaps you have had this persistent feeling that your life is on the verge of a major pivot, even without knowing how or when it will happen. It is simply there, a low, steady hum of expectation throbbing beneath your ordinary days. You know exactly what I mean. It is that strange feeling that makes you glance around, looking for the origin, or the one that causes your heart to skip a beat whenever you catch an unknown number popping up, or a message from someone you do not immediately recognize. That is not anxiety at all. That is pure alignment. Your intuition is simply picking up on the shifting air pressure and sensing the winds of your life starting to redirect, actively preparing you. Here is the thing about connecting with someone in the public eye who is powerful and famous. It is never really about the meeting itself. It is about what that encounter represents. It represents your own status finally being recognized. It represents your personal influence being acknowledged. It represents the reality that you are being pulled into a much larger, more expanded version of your life. It is a space where you are finally surrounded by peers who match your ambition, depth, and potential. After all, the people you encounter at the highest levels do not just open doors for you. They validate who you are. They reflect back to you the very reality you have been building toward, even during times when you did not fully realize it yet. When a powerful person actually wants to meet you, it serves as proof that you have evolved into someone truly worth meeting. And we need to talk about what this looks like in actual, real-time life. This is nothing like the movies where some random billionaire casually strolls up to you at a coffee shop and hands over a business card. Real life is far more subtle, layered, and honestly much more powerful. This could happen through an introduction via mutual connections. It could be a public figure who has quietly watched your content, your work, and your ongoing projects, and now wants to start a real conversation. It could be someone working in a related industry who recognizes your vision and realizes you are the exact missing puzzle piece they need. It could even be someone operating in the shadows, quietly absorbing information and gathering data, only to realize that you are the exact person they need to partner with, collaborate alongside, or invest in. What makes this even more fascinating is how this realization often stirs up a conflict deep inside us, because the moment we hear a powerful person is impressed by us, two opposing things happen simultaneously. First comes the excitement, the absolute acceleration, and sheer exhilaration, the absolute thrill of finally being seen, and right beside it comes instant disbelief or even deep-seated doubt. It triggers that tiny internal voice asking, "Why me? What do I actually have to offer? Am I really worth this level of attention?" That second voice is the exact one you need to master and control right now, because it is literally the only thing standing between you and the full reception of this moment. That voice is nothing more than lingering residue from all those times you went unseen, all the moments you were overlooked, and every instance where you showed up hard, only for nobody to notice. That voice is old, tired, outdated, and it has no business hanging around anymore, because the honest truth is that this powerful person is impressed by you precisely because you carry that deep, internal substance, something that can never be manufactured, stolen, or borrowed. You possess a kind of substance that naturally commands attention. You carry an essence that acts like a magnet for people who are utterly exhausted by superficial, surface-level interactions. They are tired of networking with folks who only want something out of them, and they are sick of the same recycled conversations that lead absolutely nowhere. The person heading your direction is someone who actually values substance. They crave authenticity, and they are actively looking for something genuine to align with. This is where things get even deeper. This impending meeting is about much more than just a surface-level opportunity. It is about true recognition. It is about someone else's outsider perspective, confirming the very truth you have only recently started believing about yourself. We often drastically underestimate how powerful it feels to be genuinely seen by someone who matters, someone who has zero obligation to give you their attention, except that they deeply respect what you have built. That specific kind of validation is utterly transformative. It completely alters the way you move through the world. It grants you a quiet confidence that you could never have manufactured entirely on your own. It encourages you to stand just a little taller, speak a bit more clearly, and take risks while believing in yourself much more completely. Right there, that validation is the most valuable thing this person could ever hand you, long before any official collaboration or partnership even materializes. Now let us discuss what this actually means for your day-to-day life, because it is not as though you will magically wake up tomorrow morning inside a room with this person. There is a process involved. There is a natural lead-up. There are distinct signals you need to start paying attention to. There are patterns already beginning to surface all around you. You might have noticed an uptick in your online attention. Perhaps you are seeing more people actively engaging with your content. Maybe you are drawing in more unfamiliar people. Perhaps you are receiving more unexpected invitations, event requests, or conversations that feel slightly elevated. You might even notice people treating you differently in general, realizing that your opinions suddenly seem to carry heavier weight, or watching doors swing open much easier than they used to. While you might have dismissed all of these shifts as simple coincidence or a lucky streak, they are none of those things. It is simply the world adjusting to match your frequency. It is your personal orbit expanding. It is the gravitational pull of a powerful person's attention, already making ripples in your life. What is even more interesting is that this powerful person is not just looking at you as someone who happens to be interesting. They genuinely want to see you succeed. They may actually want to step in and champion you. They might look at you and see a reflection of their younger self, making them want to help you skip some of the grueling struggle they had to endure. Because authentic, powerful people, the ones who value substance over fame for the sake of fame, frequently feel a deep desire to nurture raw talent whenever they spot it. They intimately know what it feels like to build everything completely from scratch. They remember the profound loneliness of early ambition. They remember the hunger, the constant fear, and the lingering hope. So when they finally encounter someone who reminds them of those days, they feel a compelling urge to reach out. They want to offer a helping hand to shorten the journey for someone who is finally ready. However, there is a crucial catch to keep in mind. They are not showing up to save you. That distinction matters deeply. They are not here to rescue you. They are coming to partner with you. They are stepping forward because they sense that you are already capable, already strong, and completely clear-headed. There is a massive chasm of difference between someone who wants to help you and someone who simply wants to use you. This person respects you, which means they view you as an equal in potential, even if your current positions differ. That level of respect is entirely priceless. It means they will actually listen to what you have to say. It means they will place genuine value on your input. It means they will treat you like a true peer, rather than a pet project. And that is the only kind of meeting that has the power to genuinely change your life. Now just imagine that exact moment. Picture your very first encounter. What would it actually look like? What would it feel like? Perhaps you find yourself invited to a setting that feels entirely different from anywhere you have ever stepped foot before. Maybe that environment feels understated, yet deeply deliberate, designed entirely around privacy and strong presence. Maybe it takes the form of a quiet conversation with nobody else around, just the two of you talking. Or perhaps it happens in a group setting, where you get introduced and instantly feel the room's focus shift. You feel the collective attention turning directly toward you. In that exact moment, your only job is to simply be yourself. No elaborate performance, no fake version of who you think they want you to see, but rather the authentic, grounded, powerful person you have quietly grown into. The person you always wanted to become, because that is precisely who they came looking for. That is the exact version of you that left them so impressed. The moment you realize that, all the anxiety instantly drops away, leaving you free to actually be present for what is unfolding. And what happens after that? What does this meeting ultimately create? What kind of future does it unfold into? It could easily lead to a powerful collaboration, perhaps a joint venture that leverages the combined strengths of you both. It could blossom into mentorship, even if it simply takes the form of casual guidance, the kind that teaches you how to comfortably navigate high-level rooms and situations. It could develop into a genuine friendship, the kind that truly matters because it is firmly anchored in mutual respect and shared core values. Naturally, it could also lead to a public partnership, an alliance where both of you become significantly more powerful simply because you are aligned. It could open doors to opportunities you have not even begun to imagine yet. Opportunities that clear out entirely new career paths, unlock fresh creative expressions, and introduce versions of your life you did not even know were possible. You need to make sure you hold this new opportunity with an open hand, not grasping tightly, not acting desperate and never coming across as needy, just open, because the heavy energy of desperation always manages to repel the exact things you want. When you are frantically desperate for something to happen or for a door to open, you end up pushing it away. That is precisely why this powerful person is arriving in your life right now, because you finally stopped being desperate. You stopped looking outward for validation. You successfully reclaimed your personal power from every single place you had previously leaked it. You put in the messy, invisible, completely unglamorous work that nobody else ever witnessed. That internal labor is what made you truly magnetic, and now you are finally ready. Yes, ready. Not because you are somehow flawless, but because you are entirely real, and being real is what draws the most powerful people straight to you. There's an old saying among powerful people which states that they can spot a rising star from clear across a crowded room. They can instantly spot someone who is on the verge of a massive breakthrough, someone standing right at a major threshold. When they witness that energy, something clicks inside them, and they want in. They want to get in on the ground floor. They want to become a part of your upward trajectory, so they can later say they knew you when. If that exact dynamic is playing out in your life right now, it is simply because you have been steadily ascending, even during times when you failed to see it in yourself. You have been growing. You have been quietly maturing. You have steadily transformed into someone much greater than you used to be. Perhaps this growth has already started showing up through strange signs and synchronicities. Maybe you keep hearing the name of a specific city, a certain person's name, a repeating number, or stumbling onto conversations that feel strangely repetitive. Maybe a friend casually mentioned someone or something that instantly set off a brilliant spark of recognition inside you. Maybe you even had a vivid dream. Yes, a dream about meeting an important person that felt so intensely real, it left you completely disoriented upon waking. These are never mere coincidences. These are undeniable signs that your entire life is aligning. They are the little breadcrumbs leading you toward an encounter destined to fundamentally alter your path. Pay close attention to them. Write them down. Yes, actually, write them down. Notice them, because they matter far more than you realize. Here is what I want to tell you directly, not just in theory, but straight to you. You are nowhere near too small for this. You are not too inexperienced. You are not too late. You are certainly not the wrong person. You are pure light. That is the exact reason you are still standing here. That is why you are being chosen. Your timing is absolute perfection. Your capacity expands larger with every single day that passes. And the person who wants to meet you, the one who is genuinely impressed by you, is going to introduce something into your life that shifts the entire way you view yourself and your future. It might not happen tomorrow morning, but it is coming, and you need to start getting ready for it right now. Right this second, not in a frantic, hyperventilating way where you try to change everything at once, but in a grounded, present, deeply aware, and open manner. Stop dismissing that gut feeling, telling you something massive is on the horizon. Stop talking yourself out of the very real possibility that you matter enough to naturally attract high-level attention. Stop telling yourself that you have to become completely flawless before you can ever deserve a meeting like this. Because true readiness is never some fixed, rigid state. No, it is a conscious decision. And you have already made that exact decision through your life choices, your trials, and your deep commitment to yourself. That is why the universe is responding in kind. That is why the angels, spirit, and those higher forces guiding our lives are actively intervening on your behalf. They are not just tossing random good fortune your way blindly. They are confirming the very things you have already set into motion. Just think about it. Really think about it. You have been through heavy things, real brutal things that would have utterly broken anyone else. Yet here you are, still standing, still willing to trust, still willing to believe, and still willing to open your heart up to possibility. That is the furthest thing from weakness. That is the deepest strength that exists. That is precisely the kind of strength that magnetizes powerful people. Because people who have built something real from the ground up know what it actually costs. Yes, they understand what it takes to pull yourself up for one more round, and they can spot that exact resilience in you. They see the fortitude you quietly cultivated in private. They see your inherent dignity. They recognize that dignity. They see the grace you managed to carry through difficult seasons, even when you felt anything but graceful. It leaves an impression on them, not in some superficial, fleeting way, but in a profound manner. One that says, this person is completely legitimate. This person is the real deal, and I need to know them. You also need to understand that this upcoming meeting serves as a sort of test. Not in some punishing, malicious way, but in a true catalytic sense. It tests your capacity to hold a high vibration, to blindly trust the process, and to remain wide open when the unexpected finally arrives. You are entirely ready for it. You have spent your whole life preparing for this without even realizing it. Every single challenge, every heartbreaking setback, and every moment of crippling doubt that you managed to transmute into strength has been prepping you for this exact interaction. When you finally stand face to face across from this person, it will all suddenly click into place, and you will realize that every bit of it made sense. All of it was guiding you right here. So lean completely into this. Do not shrink back. Do not hide in the shadows. Do not pretend you do not deserve this attention. Own it entirely. Because this powerful person did not just blindly pull a random name out of a hat. They saw you. They noticed you. They chose you. And that choice is a direct reflection of your light, your energy, and your absolute truth. Let all of that sink down deep inside you. Let it guide you forward into your next steps, because the next chapter of your life, the one featuring this partnership, this connection, and this powerful alignment, is already written. You just have to show up for it, and honestly, you already are.